Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, I'm doing a whole dance while I'm singing this, but no, I am not going to be breaking out into full song right now. But really though, welcome back. Surprise! Surprise! It's been a while since I've done this, a long time coming for me to get back to it. I know. But as you can also see, there is a little change that I made here. Now, instead of starting all over completely, I figured I'd do a rephase. So this is still season 2, but let's call it episode 1.5, the redo. Welcome to the formerly known as Free Time with MW Free podcast, to the reinvented and shorter named and easily searchable Free Time podcast. I am free, MW Free, or Made Woman Free. MW and Made Woman is all the same. That's what it stands for. Or just free. Property manager by day, restaurant GM by night, mother, creator, entertainer, and my all-time favorite self-proclaimed professional conversationalist. I have come to the conclusion that you can revamp, rediscover, and reestablish as many times as you need to until you are happy. So that is what I have done. When I first started creating this platform and my show, I wanted it to be the absolute best equipment, best set, best everything. Had a vision, and I wanted my vision to be what I saw it and what I wanted to produce from day one. And that was absolutely insane of me. Let's go back and start from the beginning. I fell in love with broadcasting and hosting in 2016 when I was a guest host turned permanent co-host of an internet radio show called Mixie Radio. That was with Dizzy Brown, Lenny Matic, and DJ's super agent Dre. Hi guys, if y'all are listening, I hope y'all are. But hey, I never sought radio or thought about being a host before that. But once I got behind that mic, it felt like that is where I belonged. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't afraid. It came naturally to me. It felt like home. And I always say I didn't find radio, but it found me. And it turned out to become my passion, and now I actually truly believe it is my purpose. I hosted that show for about 3 years until the studio we were recording in and the station, it shut down and our show came to an end. While during that time and a little bit afterwards, we did create other avenues of hosting. We did live shows, battle sexist shows, speed dating events, open mic nights, poetry slam, pop-up shots, and etc. etc. And there was even an idea to start a new station with some other partners, but that didn't come into fruition, so we went our separate ways. And that was the end of hosting for me. That was in 2019, early 2019, yeah. But having a show was still in my subconscious. I was a guest on a couple of podcasts here and there, but not having my own and being away from the mic for such a long time, I started to feel like, hey, probably this is not meant to be. But in 2020, of course, the big piece started and the world shut down. And the mic was still calling me. But I'm not a producer. I'm a creator. So I reached out to a friend of mine, Ann, who I knew had some knowledge in podcasts. And that is when Free Time with MW Free was born. She helped me with everything. Logistics, formats, streaming platforms, scouted venues to record in, and then some. And we recorded 13 episodes. They're all up on YouTube. Head over to the YouTube page after this. It's MW Free TV, and you can watch and hear what I've done so far. Thanks. And then life started to life yet again. And recording stopped yet again. So the last time I recorded and released anything was back in March, April of 2022. It has been a year and a half since then. And even though it's been this long, people still ask me about it. They ask me to either be on the show, or they suggest people, or they have people that they think should be on the show. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm not recording, so I don't know how that's going to happen. Well, I wasn't recording. But now, here we are. So for the past 5 months or so, the voice was getting louder and louder for me to make a comeback. I didn't know where I would find the time, though. 2 jobs, being a mom, all of my adulting responsibilities. Time was not on my side. I went as far as scouting new studios, trying to schedule appointments to go do some tours, but there was always something and there was always somewhere that I needed to be that was stopping me from taking the next step. So I was asking God for time. I was asking for a way to make it all happen. Now, they say be careful and be specific when asking God for something because he'll answer you, but maybe not in the way that you want or that you expect. So for those who know me personally, you know I'm injured and I've been home for about a month now. For those who don't know me, I'm injured and I've been home for about a month now. And all I have is time. So I started to do my research. I have loads of equipment. So there has to be a way, right? I looked into how I'd be able to utilize my now free time, no pun intended, to the best of my ability. More importantly, how can I bring this podcast back to life? Literally from my bed. A friend of mine who is also like a mentor has said this statement to me repeatedly for years now. And as I'm on my journey of healing, growth, and elevation, the statement rings truer and truer for me every time he says it. The world is round. And as I continue this episode, you'll understand the significance and the importance of that statement and the connection it has to this podcast. Planning this out again, I know I want it to be a place where I can talk and listen. I can learn and teach. I want to share and receive. I don't want to be the next Oprah per se, but if I'm going to do this, I should take this to the highest level I can. And I do see myself being a radio personality professionally, or possibly working for a network, interviewing on red carpets, doing this on a larger scale. Honestly, the sky's the limit, and I'm not going to set any limitations on myself or what I can really do in this life. I only have one, so I might as well do what I love. I can think about this and see all the things, but they won't come into fruition if they just remain dreams or thoughts with no actions, no plans, and no execution. So I had to look back. I had to look back at what I did and figure out what I can do to make it better. I believe where I went wrong in my last structure was it was one style. It was straightforward. It was a setting where I was giving entrepreneurs a place to talk about their business and their journeys, but that was it. And I think I narrowed down my reach and my audience. I was one-dimensional and I wanted to be multifaceted. Yes, I was back behind the mic. I was where I wanted to be after many tries. I was on a set I liked and I had my own show and I was once again doing what I loved, but I wasn't doing it quite right. It didn't feel quite right. I felt like I was trying, but not in a good way, if you know what I mean. I felt I was putting something together that would be accepted versus doing what I wanted to really do. And the show was good, but I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't my usual open and fully authentic self. I wasn't free. Pun intended. Now, this is where that original statement comes back full circle. The world is round. I realized with my constant search on all of the different social media and streaming platforms that we have access to, I watch and listen to content from all over the world. My current favorite podcast is Shits and Gigs, which is based in England. So I looked at my stats. I was like, let me see something. I looked at my old stats from all of the streaming apps that I was on, my last podcast was on, and I realized I had viewers and listeners in Germany, in Japan, in India, and some other countries as well. But I was so concerned about my immediate circle, the close reach, the people near me who was listening and watching and supporting. But analytics, they're amazing and they're very eye-opening and ultimately showed me that the world is really round. And there's so much more than what's right in front of you. So I'm going to call this show Free Time. It should have free range to be completely open to whatever and whomever. I'm rebuilding this platform where any and all will be able to find something they'll be interested in, learn from, or relate to. Anyone that has a voice, has something to share, or want to be a part of this, you are invited and you are welcome. This won't be a traditional interview setting. It'll be a mixture. We'll have one-on-one conversations, group discussions, play games, solo episodes like I'm doing right now, Q&As, and more. I want to talk about anything from Harry Potter world to the World Cup, family, friendships, parenting, ethnicity, culture, community. Of course, we'll include all the light fun topics too. We can talk relationships and love and sex and all that good stuff. We can talk about that till we're blue in the face. Let's talk about food, music, current events, and even the forbidden topics. Let's talk religion. Let's talk politics. They're all a part of our real lives, so why not discuss it? My nonstop scrolling of memes and reels, I came across these two that stuck out to me the most, and they've brought me to this moment. So the first one is, all you have to do is start. Literally, just start. You can figure things out along the way. And the second one, it's like a plan. Become ghost for 6 months. Make everything your fault. Find the beast within you. Throw yourself into pain. Cut out all excuses. Go all in on yourself. Train like a warrior. Work like a robot. Eat like a king or a queen. Reject vices. Transform. Upgrade. Create. Thrive. And win. I decided to debut this return episode on this date, September 11th, because it is exactly 6 months away from my next birthday, March 11th. Shout out to all the Pisces out there. I want to document this journey, have on record that I am completely devoted and committed to this. No more excuses, no more delays. Even though I'm starting this back up in a way I didn't think I would, I'm in my bed temporarily, unable to walk. But I have all the tools. I have my computer, I have my phone, I have my mic, and I'm doing it. I'm using everything I have to produce what I need. And it will then turn into what I want, and it'll grow into what it's meant to be. But ultimately, no matter what, the goal is to make an impact, to leave my mark, and to do something great. I'm excited to see what life can be like in 6 months. And I'm able to turn back and look at this and say, damn, for you did that. So this episode is a little short. It is the reintroduction. I'm working out my kinks. I'm figuring it all out as I go along. For those who are listening, this is perfect for you. And for those who are watching on YouTube and looking at my still image while listening to my voice, in the words of the great Queen Bee, Beyonce herself, baby, you are the visuals. For now, at least. So cheers to the rejuvenation, the rebrand, and restart. And welcome back again to Free Time Podcast. Make sure you leave a comment or some questions, or throw some topics out there of things that you'd like to hear me talk about. Subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notifications so you know every time I upload something new. Thank you for spending some free time with me. Peace.